I would love to give you an example of the difference in between two different ways of doing performance. One being the employee-led approach, and the other one being the traditional systems like an OKR or KPI setup. So imagine it is Friday afternoon and it is my time to log my highlight for the week. Now I reflect back on my week and I would write down that the highlight of this particular week is that I went to a networking event where I had very insightful conversations with two particular people that I could actually call potential clients. I then could say I emailed them and I arranged for meetings to meet with both of them. So then comes the time where my manager needs to review my highlights, and they might want to say that was well done, or some development is needed, or you exceeded expectations. And with that comes a further comment. The manager may want to say, this was well done, it was your first in-person meeting with a potential client and you managed to close them. By the way, what happened with that second potential client, which I haven't heard back from you? So as you can see, this is a very insightful conversation, and the main thing about this conversation is that I kickstarted that conversation through my highlight, and then my manager gets to give me feedback on something that I am bringing to his attention or her attention. Now, that could be one type of conversation that we could be having around my highlight. The manager may want to say, look, Rose, some development is needed because you actually pitch people that we already have in our database, and actually your colleague was already, in conversation with them. So that would be a different story. But isn't it great to actually have a time to be unpacking this type of conversations, the hard ones and also the really good ones? Now, what happens if I were using a KPI system? I'm a business developer and I have a job description, and one of my KPIs is to be able to close clients after demoing our solutions to them. Now, if I were to meet with my manager and I were to go through that task that is part of my job description, the manager will say, yes, you did well. I remember that, I look at your tracking numbers and you've done well. You have had 20 conversations in the months. And as you can see, the conversation is coming from something that I need to do and how that actually applies to me and what actually happened in the past that can be linked to that KPI that I need to meet. This type of exercise is more abstract, and the manager doesn't have the detail to work with in order to give me proper feedback. Now, with an OKR system, my team, which is the business development team, may have a target. We might need to pitch 20 clients and convert 5 of them in a quarter. So this could lead the conversation in terms of the targets that I need to meet, if I have met them or not. And my manager may want to ask me, what are the difficulties that you're facing? Why haven't you closed the number of clients that you need to close? Can we QA your conversations to see if I can give you some feedback on the way you're talking to them? And again, that could be an insightful conversation, but it's not the same as when people bring their highlights to your attention as a manager. So what's the key takeaway as to why highlights are better suited to unpack individual performance? And this is what we call the employee-led approach. It is coming from each individual to be saying what are the highlights and also the difficulties for that particular week. And then it is the manager that reading through those particular words and the way the person wrote what they needed to write. And from there, unpacking how to get better at what you do, or complimenting you on the way you've done it, or telling you exactly what needs to change for you to be doing better at what you do.